He was just reporting the news at the crime scene, never expecting that the fugitive would crash into his brand new car and completely wreck it.
That was my car.
Before he could recover from the unexpected disaster, a strange man suddenly appeared. Without any small talk, the man tossed a brand new Jaguar key into his arms.
It's the Jag.
You want me to drive home in your car?
No, I want you to take my car.
Chris was stunned. It seemed impossible that such good fortune could be real. He asked if the stranger wanted something in return.
Call it generosity between two strangers.
That only made Chris more suspicious. He began to think it might be some sort of scam. To find out the truth, he went to see Mr. Thorson again the next day. To his surprise, Mr. Thorson not only didn't go back on his word, but even transferred the ownership of the car directly to him. The absurdity of it all left Chris completely confused. But Mr. Thorson only told him to help 3 strangers and pass the kindness forward. As a reporter, Chris sensed that there was a big story behind this. After persistent questioning, Mr. Thorson finally revealed the reason. Not long ago, his daughter had suffered a severe asthma attack and was rushed to the hospital. Yet they waited for a long time in the treatment room, and no one came to help. Then, a man who was himself badly injured stepped forward. Ignoring the blood pouring from his arm, he forced the doctors to save the girl first.
Put a little girl on a tray and supervisor, and I want you to get her some goddamn air! I got your back, sis. Oh, still here?
Because of him, Thorson's daughter received treatment in time. When the police later took the man away, he kept shouting the same words, "Pay it forward." Although Thorson didn't fully understand, he remembered the phrase with gratitude. So when he saw Chris's car wrecked, he didn't hesitate to give away his own sports car. After learning the whole story, Chris became deeply intrigued by this plan of spreading kindness. Determined to trace it back to its source, he went straight to the prison. In the cold visitation room, Sidney told him a story about passing love forward. Chris never expected that the origin of this seemingly absurd idea would lead all the way to a middle school student thousands of miles away. Months earlier, in a Las Vegas middle school, a new social studies teacher named Eugene had given his students an unusual assignment. He asked them to come up with an idea that could change the world and then make it happen. The classroom instantly erupted into chaos. The students looked at each other in disbelief, whispering among themselves. Some thought the idea was crazy. Some thought it was ridiculous. But one student sat quietly and thought. After a moment, he asked the teacher a question.
What'd you ever do to change the world?
Well, Trevor, I get a good night's sleep. I eat a hearty breakfast. I show up on time. And then I pass the buck to you.
The teacher's answer left Trevor deeply pensive. On his way home from school, Trevor looked at the world around him seriously for the first time. The rundown neighborhoods, the idle troublemakers wandering the streets, the homeless man shivering in the corner. Indeed, the world was a mess. Then an idea, wild and naive yet hopeful, suddenly formed in his mind. Trevor did the math. If he helped 3 strangers, and each of them went on to help 3 more, then after just 21 cycles, kindness could spread across the entire world. Without hesitation, Trevor set his sights on his first target, a young homeless man named Jerry. Jerry had been living on the streets after years of struggling with self-destruction. Trevor wanted to help him start over. He gave Jerry all his pocket money, brought him home to wash up and change clothes, and finally let him sleep in the old broken truck behind the house. However, Trevor didn't tell his mother, Arlene, about any of this. The next morning, when Arlene saw the strange man in her home, she was terrified. Trevor explained that it was part of a homework assignment. Arlene was furious. She stormed to school and confronted Mr. Eugene.
To change the...
Excuse me, it's to get them to think, not walk on water. It's a very good
You give an assignment you don't think they can do? What kind of teacher are you?
I didn't say that, you know. They make attempts. Every now and then they clean up a little graffiti before they lose
Hey,
interest.
this is my kid. You don't know him. You tell him he can do something, he's gonna believe you. And when he can't, it's gonna wipe him out. They ought to fire your ass out of here right now.
She insisted that he take responsibility for such a dangerous idea. Eugene, feeling helpless, chose to end the unpleasant conversation with silence. A few nights later, Arlene was startled awake by noises coming from the shed. Grabbing a shotgun, she went to check. To her surprise, it was Jerry again. But he hadn't come to steal or to stay. He wanted to help fix the old truck. Because Trevor had helped him, he wanted to repay the kindness. Yet when Arlene saw the needle marks on his arm, she couldn't bring herself to trust him. And as it turned out, her instincts were right. A few days later, Trevor went to visit Jerry, hoping he had truly changed. He knocked for a long time, but no one answered. Inside, Jerry was lost in his own hallucinations. Disappointed, Trevor left. His first attempt at spreading kindness had failed. But he didn't give up. Instead, he soon found his next target, his teacher, Eugene. Despite always encouraging his students to change the world, Eugene himself lived a monotonous life. He was quiet, withdrawn, and rarely connected with anyone on a deeper level. Trevor sensed his loneliness and decided to find him a companion. And the person he chose was his own mother. Trevor's father had been a violent alcoholic who constantly abused his wife. 2 years ago, Arlene finally left him and started a new life with her son. She worked 2 jobs, one at a casino and another at a bar late at night. The heavy burden and emotional scars had worn her down. Over time, she fell into the same bad habit she once hated, drinking to escape her pain. Although she had promised Trevor many times that she would quit, she failed every time. So Trevor hid all the alcohol in the house. Then, pretending to be his mother, he wrote a letter to Mr. Eugene, inviting him to dinner that weekend. Eugene didn't really understand what was going on, but he still showed up as promised. When Arlene opened the door and saw him, they both froze for a moment. She thought the teacher had come for a home visit after their argument last time, and Eugene thought the invitation was meant as an apology for what happened before. They sat stiffly on the couch, struggling to find something to talk about. Just then, Trevor sneaked out, quietly. He ran to the dining table and lit the candles he had prepared in advance. The flickering candlelight illuminated 2 faces that looked even more awkward. The dinner ended quickly, with little conversation, wrapped in silence and unease. After Eugene left, Trevor was furious. He couldn't understand why his mother always ruined everything. Did she still hope that the drunk would ever change? Because of this, a fierce argument broke out between mother and son.
I love you. I'm doing the best I can. If that's not
I
good
don't want you to love me. I hate the way you look.
Trevor,
I
you
hate
need
the way
to
you
stop.
smell. I hate the way you are. I hate that you're my mother.
For a moment, they both froze in shock. Arlene panicked and ran to the kitchen, frantically searching for alcohol, but Trevor had already hidden every bottle. Finally, she climbed onto the counter and found the one bottle she had secretly stashed above the chandelier. She twisted off the cap and drank desperately, as if clinging to a lifeline. But as the alcohol hit her throat, a wave of nausea rose violently inside her. In pain, she vomited it all out. At that moment, staring at the bottle in her hand, she finally realized with clear awareness that alcohol had never been the cure. It only dragged her deeper into darkness, destroying everything she had left. Later that night, when Arlene gathered the courage to apologize to her son, she opened his door and found the room empty. Panic gripped her instantly. She called her friends in desperation, begging for help, but they were either drunk beyond reason or didn't answer at all. In her helplessness, the only person she could think of was Eugene. They drove through the city streets, searching everywhere. Finally, they arrived at the bus station. Trevor was looking down, counting the coins one by one, trying to figure out where to go next. At that moment, a bully noticed him. Fortunately, Eugene arrived just in time and dragged the man into a corner, giving him a harsh lesson. Seeing her son safe, Arlene was overwhelmed with guilt.
I have a problem. I gotta stop. Possible that I can do it. Then I think maybe I can. If you just try a little bit and I'll try.
Alcohol had always been her escape from reality, but now her son's warm hand was the only redemption she wanted to hold on to. The touching scene moved Eugene deeply. He began to see this woman in a new light. He couldn't help but feel an unusual affection for this strong yet fragile single mother. That weekend, Eugene stood in front of the mirror, carefully choosing his clothes, then went to the place where Arlene worked. He planned to ask her out for dinner, but he was so nervous that he had to pretend it was just a coincidence. When Arlene asked if he knew she worked there, his nerves got the better of him, and his words tumbled out incoherently.
Well, if you were gonna eat anyway, if you wanted, maybe, if you were hungry, we could, if you want to eat something.
Over time, after a few more meetings, something subtle began to grow between them. However, what confused Arlene was that Eugene always kept a perfectly measured distance from her and never once tried to initiate any physical closeness. So, one night, when he drove her home, Arlene gathered her courage and asked if he wanted to stay. To her surprise, Eugene turned down her invitation. Her heart sank. She thought he was rejecting her because of her messy past.
I get it. It's okay to say you don't like me that way.
Is that what you think it is?
But then Eugene gently touched her face and kissed her deeply. Just as Arlene thought everything was about to fall into place, Eugene suddenly pulled away. Without saying a word, he turned and left. Arlene stood there confused and heartbroken. She thought she had lost her charm, that she was no longer attractive to anyone. What made her angrier was that over the next few days, Eugene completely disappeared, cutting off all contact. Unable to bear the confusion and pain, Arlene went straight to his apartment one night. All the emotions she had suppressed burst out at once. She demanded to know if he looked down on her for being uneducated, or if he despised her for being an alcoholic. Eugene knew he couldn't run from the truth anymore.
It's all I've ever known. I have a thing I do every day. As long as I have that, I'm okay. I'm okay. If I don't have it, I'm lost.
So is that all you want? Your goddamn manageable day?
It's what
But his vague explanation only made things worse. Arlene pressed him harder, desperate for a real answer. In the heat of the moment, she kissed him. But once again, Eugene pushed her away. Arlene's heart went cold. She left, filled with pain and humiliation. Trevor's second attempt at helping someone had failed once again. Yet his 14-year-old heart stubbornly believed that there must still be cracks in the world that could be healed. One day at school, he noticed a few bullies targeting his friend Adam. Without hesitation, Trevor grabbed him and led him away. But on their way home after school, he saw the same bullies again, cornering Adam and beating him brutally. Trevor's blood boiled, and he wanted to step in. But when he saw their fierce eyes and strong bodies, his courage quickly crumbled into fear. He could only watch helplessly as his friend was thrown into a trash bin. Trevor was consumed by guilt and pain. He hated his own weakness. At the same time, he realized with painful clarity a cruel truth. If he couldn't even protect his own friend, how could he possibly carry out his plan to pay it forward? Just then, Eugene happened to pass by. Trevor asked him if the world was really that bad. Eugene said no. He told Trevor that no matter what, he would grade the assignment based on his effort. Even if the pay-it-forward plan failed, it didn't matter. But Trevor didn't think so. He told his teacher that he didn't care about grades at all. He just wanted to see if this broken world could truly change. His words hit Eugene straight in the heart. In the face of Trevor's pure sincerity, all of Eugene's comforting talk about grades suddenly sounded empty and meaningless. He realized that doing your best was nothing more than a polite excuse adults use to cover up their own helplessness. That night, Eugene made a decision. He gathered his courage and knocked on Arlene's door. Under her surprised gaze, he confessed his deepest fears and secrets. He took off his shirt, revealing the skin no one had ever seen before. It turned out that what he had been afraid of all along was Arlene's rejection. Eugene waited. He waited for the scream, the disgust, or the pity he had always imagined. But Arlene didn't do any of that. What appeared in her eyes was not fear, but pain, understanding, and a tenderness beyond words. She slowly reached out her hand and gently touched the scars that recorded his suffering. In that moment, Eugene finally understood that real love was never afraid of scars. What it feared was two hearts forever separated by a door that would never open. After a night of tenderness, Eugene quietly got up and opened the door to go to the bathroom. But as soon as he stepped into the hallway, he saw Trevor standing there.
Now you have to pay it forward too. Sleepover, didn't you?
Why don't you go back to bed?
Why?
It's too early for you to be up, and I gotta get to school
it's not
anyway.
Early. No, it's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday. Let me out.
Muffin.
Would you please take care of him? I'll call you later, all right?
Don't be a stranger.
God, Trevor.
Do you like him?
From that day on, it almost felt like they had become a family. Trevor also cherished this long-lost warmth of home. But happiness is fragile. Their peace was soon shattered by the sudden return of a man.
Cotton farm. Hi, Arlene.
Trevor's father, Ricky, had come back. Eugene quietly left, giving them space. That night, Ricky sincerely confessed to Arlene. He claimed that he had changed, that he had quit drinking for 6 months and wanted to be part of the family again. Listening to his words, Arlene's defenses began to crumble. Deep down, she still longed for a complete family. She believed that only a biological father could give her son the love and companionship he deserved. A few days later, Arlene went to see Eugene again, this time to apologize and end things. She told him that Ricky was Trevor's biological father and that she had to give him another chance. But Eugene couldn't agree. He believed that violence was a cycle. It either happened once or kept happening endlessly. Ricky would never truly change. Arlene stubbornly tried to defend him. That was when Eugene revealed the truth about his own past.
I know what I'm talking about, Arlene. My father got on his knees and begged my mother, and my mother, she always took him back. I never understood it. She'd cover the bruises and the cuts, and she'd take him back.
His father had been an abusive man. Unable to bear it any longer, Eugene had run away from home at 13. At 16, he finally thought he was strong enough to go back and save his mother, but the night he returned turned into the nightmare that haunted him for the rest of his life. The burns on his body were the result of his father's violence. He would never forget the twisted satisfaction in his father's eyes as he inflicted those wounds. Eugene used every scar as a warning to Arlene, not to repeat his mother's tragedy, because once the fire of violence is lit, it devours everything it touches. Seeing Arlene's stubbornness, Eugene felt a chill deep in his heart. He knew he couldn't change another person's choices, but soon, reality delivered Arlene a harsh and painful lesson. Ricky's mask of repentance quickly fell away. One night he came home drunk, reeking of alcohol. He angrily questioned Arlene, asking if Eugene had been the one stirring things up, making their son treat him so coldly. Then he raised his fists, ready to teach her a lesson. In a moment of desperation, Arlene fled into her son's room. The door shook violently under the blows, and Arlene's heart shattered. Looking at her son sitting on the floor, Eugene's words hit her like a bucket of cold water poured over her head. She finally realized she had believed a devil's lie and pushed away the one person who truly wanted to protect them. Trevor's heart also broke, not only because of his father's violence, but because Eugene had left them. After school, he waited until all the other students were gone, and then approached Eugene. He begged him to give his mother another chance. Eugene said he would keep his promise and continue to pay it forward. But as for his relationship with Arlene, it was truly over. Everything had come full circle, back to where it all began. It seemed that the plan to pay it forward was doomed to fail. Trevor was overwhelmed with disappointment. But fate has a way of working in silence. He had no idea that the small seed of kindness he had planted was already spreading quietly from one heart to another. Jerry, the homeless man. Trevor had helped first, may not have overcome his inner struggles, but he found another way to pass on the love. One morning, as Jerry was about to cross a bridge, he suddenly saw a woman climbing over the railing, ready to end her life. His heart clenched in shock. In that instant, he remembered the hand Trevor had once reached out to him. Without hesitation, he rushed forward to stop the woman.
Have a cup of coffee with me?
What?
Do me a favor. Save my life.
The woman was finally saved, and in the moment Jerry tried to rescue another life, it felt as if he had also grasped a rope, pulling himself out of the abyss. Because kindness never truly disappears. It simply takes a different path, redeeming both the savior and the saved. After hearing about this plan from Jerry, Arlene quietly began to put it into action as well. The person she decided to help was her own mother. It turned out that Arlene's mother was also an alcoholic who drank all day long. When she was young, she had been irresponsible toward her family, and as a result, the mother and daughter had not spoken for years. Now that Arlene was raising a child of her own, she finally understood the hardship and pain of being a mother, and she began to empathize with her mother's struggles back then. So she decided to let go of her resentment and reconcile with her. At that moment, the ice that had lasted for over 20 years began to melt in the warmth of understanding and remorse. Arlene sincerely invited her mother to come home sometime and visit her grandson. The old woman, burdened with regrets from her past, felt deeply moved by her daughter's forgiveness and decided to continue passing the love forward. One night, as she left a convenience store, she saw a man being chased and beaten by a group of thugs. Without a second thought, Arlene's mother told the man to get in her car and drove him to safety. And that was how Sidney learned about the pay it forward plan. In the end, he used his own way to bend the rules in the hospital and complete the act of passing love forward. Following the trail, reporter Chris traced it from the thug Sidney to the old woman he mentioned, then to Arlene, and finally to the middle school in Las Vegas. To spread the message even further, Chris decided to interview Trevor. Facing the camera, Chris asked, "Your pay it forward idea has already changed so many lives. You must feel very proud, right?" But to everyone's surprise, Trevor shyly shook his head. He said no, because all three of the people he tried to help had failed. Although his social studies project had received a high grade, that was only because the teacher graded him on effort. He believed the one who had truly succeeded was his mother. She had reconnected with her mother after more than 20 years, and they had made peace again. That was something he never thought could happen before. So if pay it forward could spread that far, the credit belonged entirely to her. At the end of the interview, Trevor looked into the camera and spoke to his teacher, Eugene.
To change. And they kind of give up. When they do, everybody kind of lose.
His words made Eugene reflect deeply. He realized that perhaps he had been too afraid, too hesitant to grasp happiness when it was right in front of him. After the interview, he made up his mind to find Arlene and finally face his true feelings.
I don't want to spend another second of wasted air. Please don't let me stay trapped in here forever.
But just as they held each other, tragedy struck. After school, Trevor once again saw his friend Adam being bullied by the same group of kids. This time, he didn't hesitate or back down. He got on his bike and charged straight at them, knocking one of the bullies to the ground. A scuffle broke out between them. Then, one of the bullies suddenly pulled out a knife. He had only meant to bluff, but in the chaos of pushing and shoving, the unexpected happened. Not far away, Eugene came running as fast as he could, but it was already too late. In the cold hallway of the hospital, time passed with cruel indifference. When the door to the operating room finally opened, the doctor removed his mask, but his face was filled with exhaustion and a heavy sorrow. Trevor, unfortunately, passed away in the end. His short yet brilliant life came to a halt at the age of 11. Arlene often curled up on the couch in the living room, while Eugene sat silently beside her. Their only comfort was replaying the recording of Trevor's interview again and again. On the screen, his delicate face carried a shy yet determined smile, and his clear voice echoed softly through the quiet room. It felt as if, at any moment, he would come bouncing in just like before. That day was Trevor's birthday. Without realizing it, they both drifted off to sleep on the couch. Half asleep, Eugene was suddenly awakened by noise coming from outside the window. Confused, he walked over to look, but the sight before him left him completely stunned. The yard outside was filled with people gathered to honor Trevor. Some were holding flowers. Some lit candles in silence. There were no chants, no speeches, only quiet faces, standing in the glow, offering the deepest respect to the boy who had lit the first flame. And in the endless night beyond, a stream of headlights continued to flow toward them. The night sky of Las Vegas shimmered with candlelight. What was illuminated was not just the streets, but the hidden corners of human hearts long covered in dust. Looking back at this journey of kindness, that 11-year-old boy had once tried to solve an equation that could change the world. He helped Jerry rediscover the courage to reach out to a stranger on the bridge. He helped his mother, Arlene, break through the wall she had built for 20 years. He helped his teacher, Eugene, open the door of his heart that had been locked for half a lifetime. He helped a reporter named Chris find something far more valuable than a luxury car. The world often resembles an old coat covered with patches. Some choose to lie within its holes, cursing the cold and lamenting life's unfairness. But others quietly pick up a needle and thread, stitching each invisible tear back together. Trevor taught us a simple yet profound truth. Loud cries may not be enough to shake the darkness that has taken root, but even a single candle, flickering in the cold wind yet refusing to go out, can still drive the darkness away. He showed everyone that the key to breaking indifference lies right in our open hands. Today, the Pay It Forward Foundation has taken root all over the world, inspiring countless people to change the world through small acts of kindness. The road he didn't finish has been paved by millions of footsteps. The homework he never completed is now being answered by the entire world. The widest thing in the world is the ocean. Wider than the ocean is the sky. But wider than the sky is the human heart. With his short yet radiant life, Trevor measured the very limits of that vastness. We may all think the boy's idea was a utopia. Too ideal, too naive. Because in this age obsessed with speed and gain, kindness is often mocked as foolish, and generosity is weighed like a transaction. Yet when we complain about how cold the world has become, have we ever asked ourselves if we would dare to be the first match to burn? Perhaps we cannot even change our own fate. But many times, even a small and unnoticed act of kindness can still light up someone else's life. There is both light and darkness in this world. But the beauty is, we are free to choose which side we walk toward.